Speaker, my question is to the Premier. Betty, a constituent in my riding, recently wrote to me about her experience as a patient being transferred from a Scarborough hospital to palliative care after having a major life-saving brain surgery. As she was being transferred, she requested support and care to ensure that she can remain safe after the surgery. Yet she received inadequate support and was transferred with no assistance. This is what Betty wrote, Speaker. What is wrong with this picture? A senior undergoing life-saving brain surgery and being manhandled during transfer due to lack of support. She then goes on to say, "It's time our government started giving the seniors that built this country, province and city the total respect they deserve." End quote. Speaker, Scarborough Health Network has been struggling with the lack of funding for decades, first under the Liberals and now under this Conservative government. And they're still waiting. Scarborough Health Network's recent Love Scarborough campaign highlights many instances like what Betty described and calls on our government to finally give Scarborough the investment that they need. So my question is, Speaker, when will the seniors and the people of Scarborough get their fair share of funding for our healthcare system? Thank you.
And to reply, the Government House Leader.
The member is absolutely correct, Mr. Speaker, that under 15 years of the previous Liberal government, Scarborough was ignored. Now, not to be outdone by the NDP in election day conversions, the Liberals have now said that they'll support the Scarborough Health Network. Now, they had 15 years to do it. They had 15 years to do it, and they did nothing. I'm glad that the member for Scarborough-Guildwood is clapping, because she's clapping for 15 years of failure under her government to actually do something about it. So congratulations to you. Mr. Speaker, the reality is that we're getting the job done. We're building thousands of beds. Just this morning, I announced 1,920 new long-term care beds across Toronto, Mr. Speaker, including in Scarborough at the Seven Oaks Centre, where we'll have a brand new bed. You're welcome. Of course, we're getting that done for the people of Scarborough. I know the member for Scarborough Agent Court worked so hard to ensure that his hospital went down the road for a brand new emergency room. The Liberals could have done it. They didn't. That member got it done for his community. So congratulations to him.
Stop the clock. Restart the clock. The supplementary question.
Speaker, beds don't take care of people. People do. Physicians do. Ontario's healthcare system is in a crisis due to the shortage of physicians, nurses, and healthcare staffing across the board. Yet thousands of internationally trained healthcare workers in Canada across various professions are still waiting for our province to let them practice and contribute and allow them to take the pressure off our healthcare system. We have highly skilled immigrants who have come to Ontario in hopes for a better life for themselves and for the community, but continue to face barriers when trying to work in their fields. This afternoon, I'll be introducing my bill, Fairness for Foreign Trained Workers Act, that addresses these challenges and finally gives hope to thousands of physicians, nurses, physiotherapists, dentists, and more to care for Ontarians. So, Speaker, my question is again, we take pride in our healthcare system, but it is stretched thin, and we need to build capacity, not just beds. So, if we can do it now by integrating these internationally trained workers, why isn't this government listening? And will the government vote yes to my bill to give fairness for internationally trained workers? Thank you, Speaker.
And again, to reply.
The Minister of Labour has been doing incredible work to ensure that people can get, internationally trained professionals can get recognized in the province of Ontario. Here's a little nugget for you. If I could look into the future, I'm going to bet that they're going to vote against all of the measures that you're bringing in, Mr. Speaker, to do that. But look at the member's own writing, Mr. Speaker. She talks about you can build as many hospitals and beds as you want, but unless you have the people to actually work in it, unless you have the funding, what's the point of doing it? So I was proud, Mr. Speaker, when this government, these members fought really hard to ensure that that member's writing in Scarborough Southwest for her long-term care homes got an additional $30 million in funding for staffing and support, Mr. Speaker, so that we could get to 4 hours of care, Speaker, so that we could get to the 4 hours of care that wasn't done under the Liberals, was not prioritized under the NDP when they held the balance of power, something they like to forget about, Mr. Speaker, but was done by this government and this caucus, Speaker.
Response?
We respect our healthcare workers. We respect our PSWs. That's why we're supporting them. That's why we're giving more funding to build the best possible health and long-term care system in the world, Mr. Speaker.